Creative Intent splashed on the scene around 2018 with their plugin Temper. This was a free phase distortion plugin that sounded great and was super user-friendly. It quickly became a favorite, and they followed up with Tantrum, a more beefed-up, roided-out version of Temper, and they subsequently released Remnant, which was a granular delay and effects powerhouse. These plugins all sounded great and were extremely user-friendly. Creative Intent, I would say, was known for having sleek, refined, and innovative user interfaces. I think that the interface design just kind of pushes you to be a little bit more creative, and you can end up with some really wild sounds like this. So what happened? Well, Creative Intent closed its doors around 2022. Now, this wasn't particularly well documented, but the developer expressed that Creative Intent closed its doors due to personal, life, and career changes after about a 6-year run. But the cool thing is that the founder encouraged users to continue using their products and even share them with friends, as the plugins don't have any copyright protection. He also expressed his hope that their software, such as Tantrum, would continue to be enjoyed and used for years to come. So that's the good news. Now, I posted a free download link for these plugins on my Patreon. It's available to all members, even if you're just a free member. And I've also got a couple of my custom presets that I use with Tantrum in there as well for you. So if you want to download and use Tantrum or Remnant, check the Patreon. I'll put it up on the screen here, and the link will also be in the description. Once you download it, you can, email it to your friends, post it on Reddit and Discord chats. It's completely fair use. Let's talk about the Eventide SST-282 space station. Now, this is a relic of a time once past. It was released in 2004 during the Avid TDM era. Drop a comment if you're old enough to remember the TDM days. Anyways, this plugin was based on a very sought-after hardware unit. Now, Princeton Digital took some of the software code from its new unit and the retro user interface from the original unit, giving us this plugin. Now, this is a multi-tap delay unit, and it could do the whole echo reverberation kind of thing. Now, this plugin phased away with Pro Tools TDM, and unfortunately, it was never ported to modern software environments. Hence, relic of the past. But don't worry, Audiority has picked up the torch with their space station UM-282. Now, priced at $65, it's an absolute steal and a great way to get that classic sound without having to track down the original hardware. Now let's hop back even further to the late 90s with the Digidesign D2 and D3 plugins. Also from the TDM era, these were based on the legendary hardware by Focusrite that was released in 1994. Now, from what I understand, these were the first plugins with a GUI that was designed to look like the hardware that they were emulating. Now, these plugins still sound great and can still hold up in the modern world, especially when you consider how abhorrently ancient they are. These evolved into what we know today as the Focusrite Red 2 and 3 native plugins, and they're free to use. But they can only be legally acquired through purchase of Focusrite hardware. So if you have a Focusrite interface and somehow you don't know this, make sure to go ahead to their website and download this, pick it up. If you don't have a Focusrite interface, sorry man, you're out of luck. If you really want these, I recommend just buying a used or even broken Focusrite Solo on eBay. You can find them for as little as like $30-40. And at $30 or $40, I think these two plugins are more than worth it. Plus, you can have a little travel interface with you if you ever need to, work on the road. Next, let's revisit the Native Instruments B4. This was released Y2K, the year 2000, and a completely stable version of this plugin arrived in 2005. And by 2009, Native Instruments had abandoned any further development on this plugin. B4 was celebrated at the time for its detailed modeling of tone wheel organs. Most parts of the instrument are modeled, which is kinda nuts for the year 2000. One might even say groundbreaking. I play the organ, and I personally know musicians that to this day still prefer B4 over any other emulations that have since come out. Now, why exactly some of my colleagues hold this opinion is, quite frankly, just cognitively beyond me. It just sounds like ass. Like, I don't know how else to really put it. It sounds like ass. Like, compared to any modern tone wheel plugin, like whether it's like modeled or it's sampled or whatever, like it just sounds bad. I guess you could make an argument for using this if you're like a gigging musician and you play live and you have an actual Leslie speaker. Like, maybe, I think the actual tone wheel emulation isn't too bad, but just, like, if you're trying to have this on a song that you're like recording, like it's supposed to sound like a Hammond recorded in a studio, it's just no contest. My favorite Hammond emulation is the IK Multimedia B3X, and I'll just give you a quick side-by-side. I'll just play the same phrase on both, so you can just hear what I mean, because it... come to your own decision. So yep, that's what they sound like with identical settings next to each other. If you like the sound of the B4 more, I'm not gonna knock you, I can't understand it. Unfortunately, this plugin is not available anymore, so there's no way to get access to it legally. But like I said, I really don't think this plugin has too much to offer us in the modern world. Now, let's talk about Antares Kantos. Antares Kantos. This was released in the summer of 2002. This was a synthesizer that featured a monophonic audio input instead of MIDI, a concept we're familiar with today but was quite innovative at the time. But what is remembered most about this plugin is its otherworldly alien GUI. What was once a really cool plugin, this is really not a remarkable feature by today's standards. Modern alternatives such as the Isotope Vocal Synth and Waves Ovox offer far more advanced features and capabilities. Finally, let's explore Alchemy. Alchemy is a sample manipulation synthesizer which was originally developed by Camel Audio, later acquired by Apple in the year 2015, and it is now integrated directly into Logic Pro as a stock instrument. Alchemy was praised at the time for its advanced sample manipulation capabilities, including additive, spectral, and granular synthesis. At the time, Alchemy was arguably the most comprehensive sample manipulation engine ever found in any VST instrument, and it also had an incredibly easy-to-use interface, making it versatile for live performance as well. Alchemy was already a sufficiently powerful instrument, but once Apple got their hands on it, they turned it into the beast that we all know and love today. The bad news is it's only available in Logic for Mac. So if you want to be able to use Alchemy today, you have to be prepared to fork over top dollar for that overpriced hardware to get some extremely reasonably priced software. That's it, boys. You already know what to do. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. I'm gonna throw up my Patreon one more time on the video if you want to grab those free downloads I mentioned earlier. I hope you learned something. I am Dom Paris. And I'm out of here.
I just caught the black text to the go to the church. Go with my eyes, go to the court, go my side. I need a rap, wait. Now I need more zero. In my bed, I see your girl body. Real talk, hoe come here. My mind is saying.